Hello, Knights fans. We're on the road here in Pittsburgh, or just outside of Pittsburgh, at Robert Morris University for the FDU men's basketball court. I'm here with Coach Herenda. Coach, 9-7 right now, heading into these final two games. We were 9-7 at this point last season, but the team's been scuffling a little bit. 0-2 last week. What's the overall temperature of the team heading into this final week?
Well, I can't not stand here in Coraopolis, Pennsylvania, and not talk about five-star basketball camp before we talk about our team. I worked five-star camp. Howard Garfinkel was on our radio show, and this is where Rick Pitino, Bob Knight, all the great coaches in America came. So to be here doing our first show on the road in Coraopolis means a lot to me. It really helped make my career, and it's a special place to be. And yeah, our team, I think like every team in America, is fighting for seeding right now. That's what everyone's doing, you know, and Robert Morris is doing that, and they're a very, very difficult team in this building. We quite honestly had a beat last year here, and they pulled it out, and we're looking for a win today, and we got to take it one, game at a time, but I'm just excited to be, on the road. This is college basketball. It's easy to play home games and to get up in the morning, but when you have to, go take a 6.5, 7-hour bus trip. This is the reality that a lot of times the fans don't realize that happens. We don't have chartered, jets. We have, a beautiful coach bus and great bus drivers, and we're just excited to be out here.
Yeah, it's a team that perennially the program has struggled against. You picked up your first win in 7 tries last time out.
Right.
It's been over 10 years since the Knights have come to Moon Township,
right,
come away with a win. What do you explain the long-term?
Well, I can't explain it because I wasn't here, but all I know is all we've been doing is rewriting history books. There's every time we do something, it's the last time we've done it. What I really want to do this weekend is we're 3-4 right now on the road. Last year we were 8-2 on the road. I want to have a winning record on the road, and that tells people, it tells my team, it tells myself everything about your basketball team. If you can win on the road, you can win you can do a lot of things, and last year it helped us win a championship. So right now we're 3-4. We have our last 2 games on the road. Last year we had our last 2 games on the road at Mount St. Mary's and at Central Connecticut. So I love the challenge. We're banged up. Gus is out for the year. Tyrone's out for the year. I think we're going to get Caleb back. He was out for the last game. 2 games ago we didn't have Darian. So we're just we got to find ourselves here. And I think by the time we get to March 1st and we get to tournament time, we'll have what team we have left healthy. But we're excited about winning on the road in a very difficult place. We have a lot of respect for Robert Morris, their coaches, and their university.
Yeah, one of the guys that's really come on late has been Mike Holloway.
Right.
NEC primetime performer this week, averaged a double-double last week.
Right.
I know you've been preaching to the guards. We got to get the ball into the big guy.
Right.
We got to feed Mike.
Right.
How happy are you with the way he's come along here, especially with the important?
Yeah, no, it's ironic because then Mike played well, and then I think our guards haven't been as effective. But Mike has been a beast, really, for the last 10 days, including all of our practices. He's been really, really good. So I think, Brian, that we need everyone to come together and play well. Our guards, our wings, our bigs, our defense, our rebounding, our shooting. And we've done all of those things very, very well, but we have not done them well together. And that's the key. But if there's any time to do it, this would be the time.
Yeah, and then obviously after Thursday, you're off to Loretto, Pennsylvania, not too
Yep.
far from here, take on St. Francis. It's a team that you open the NEC season slate with,
Right.
so now you bookend it. How much different is it now? Can you even look back at that game, or 2 different teams now?
I look more back at last year's game at St. Francis and Loretto. We played great. So I think a lot of times in college basketball, your memories are much longer than the year that you're in. It's the gyms that you've won in, and we've won in that gym. But St. Francis, and I told Rob Trimmel after the game that they were picked 9th, and they were going to be the team that everyone was going to have to worry about, and I got lucky, and I was right. But they're very young, they're very quick, they're difficult to guard, they're really well coached, and that's going to be another tough game. So I mean, every game, you look at Virginia right now, and look at some of the premier programs that have a hard time winning, and we're just in the middle of what a lot of people go through. But I think one basket, one play, one win changes the course of action, and we need a player to do that, and I'm confident that it's going to happen, but I want it to happen sooner than later, that's for sure.
Thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
Coach.
Hey, go coach.
Yes, yeah, go coach. Coach and coach. So now I'm joined here by Director of Basketball Operations, Pete Lappas. Coach Lappas, a lot of people who aren't familiar with basketball and college basketball may not know, what does the Director of Basketball Operations do? From my standpoint, I know you're behind the scenes and you're making sure this program's running smoothly. But in your own words, what is your role here?
You know what, Brian, when people ask me what the operations guy does, it's actually a pretty common question, because obviously there's the 3 assistants who are on the floor, they're recruiting. The head coach is obviously calling the shots. And the way I look at an operations position is kind of the glue guy of the coaching staff. So I kind of do all the little things that make the program go on a daily basis, whether it's scheduling practices, being the coordinator between our coaching staff and the other athletic administration and our academic administration, Nikki Lockhart. I'm in charge of the student managers we have to help us. We get ready for practices, we get ready for road trips, making sure the bus is on time, making sure the pregame meal is ready at the right time. And just all the little stuff that you definitely would not be able to see if you come to an FDU game. But I enjoy the role. And last, just being at practice and not being on the floor, as much as I want to be on the floor eventually, I love learning from just watching Coach Herenda, who's been in the business for 30 years plus. Watching Coach Hamburger, who's been around forever. Watching 2 great assistants in Dwayne Lee and Winston just do their thing on the court. So every day I'm just trying to soak up as much knowledge as possible during practices and really during the games, so that eventually, I can become an assistant coach. I can become a head coach.
Yeah, you mentioned getting the experience and learning. You started at a young age. Obviously, your father recently inducted into the Villanova Basketball Hall of Fame, long-time coach, now he's an analyst. How much did that influence you, obviously, growing up in such a basketball setting?
It was everything. That's why I'm in basketball. I grew up around the game. I lived it. As I'm sure Trey Herenda, coach's son, is the same way. You see the highs and you see the wins, and you also see some of the lows of the basketball world and the basketball profession. Obviously, the positives outweigh the negatives, and I'm standing right here, right now. My mom thinks I'm crazy and that I'm a psychopath, that I'm choosing this path. My father's happy about it. But, you learn to love the game and you learn to really live the game. It's more, I don't see it as a sport or just, this team wins, this team loses. I really see it as my life. So I can't really imagine my life without basketball in it.
Yeah, it's such a big part of it. And now, coming up on crunch time, out of the great NEC tournament run last year and the championship, same spot now, 9-7 again, 2 games to go in the conference. What is your expectations here in these next 2 games as the team gets ready for the NEC tournament?
You know what, Brian? We had a tough month, but Coach Herenda tells our staff and our players this all the time. Everyone has tough months and tough stretches in college basketball, and the champions and the teams, the winners, are the teams that figure out how to get out of the stretch and how to kind of bounce back from a couple of tough games. We've done it before. We did it last year, like you said. And we know that this team is very capable of doing it again and going on a run. So it all starts, at Robert Morris and the Pennsylvania trip, and we'll go from there.
Great, thanks for your time today. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
So the Knights are here at Robert Morris. They'll take on the Colonials at 7 p.m. on Thursday. Then they're off to Loretto, Pennsylvania to take on St. Francis. That'll be at 1 p.m. on Saturday. The Knights are hoping their momentum continues, as they were 9-7 at this point last season, and the momentum of 2 victories carried them all the way through the NEC tournament and onto the NCAA tournament. We'll have to see how everything plays out. For all information about the FDU men's basketball team, at FDUKnights.com.